Hey guys, this is like the third time I'm trying to make this video. I have been super sick and I look horrible. So I'm letting you see my part of my ride while I talk. It's such an important subject and it's been on my mind, and every time I try to make the video it gets blocked or stopped or something happens. So I know that I'm, being blocked. So there's validity to that. I want to talk about the negativity, the evil, the demonic spirits. And I know that many people don't want to even admit that there are such a thing. Some people don't want to believe in God. Some people believe in God and everything's good. The New Age movement has many believing that, we signed agreements before we got here and agreed to do things. I believed that for many years. That there is no evil, that everything is either just a lesson or, a contract or something. And, I've come to realize since I've known the truth that the reason why that philosophy, well, my camera's doing something really funky, why that philosophy seems to be so attractive to so many is because it allows us to basically do whatever we want. There is no sovereign power, so it's not like we have to answer to anybody, basically, right? Anyhow, demons are real whether we want to believe it or not. Okay, so there's something called oh jeez, now I can't even remember. I want to keep saying sleep apnea. No, sleep paralysis. And, there is a scientific explanation. And the scientific explanation says that our body, which is true, our body lets off a chemical when we sleep that pretty much paralyzes us. So therefore we cannot go and act out our dreams. Makes perfect sense. Of course, the Creator created us perfectly. Makes absolute sense. And if you are too tired or whatever and you wake up in between that state, you're technically, your brain still thinks your body's sleeping, so it still keeps you paralyzed. It can last anywhere up, from a couple seconds to a couple minutes. It's terrifying. Many people have reported seeing entities or feeling like they're being choked or that kind of thing. And the doctors or scientists will tell you that it's a hallucination. The only problem I have with that, and I absolutely agree, I mean, the scientists know about the chemicals in our body and all that, but why, if you can get yourself to muster up enough to say Jesus, why does it stop immediately? Some may say it's just coincidence, it's just that timing, I don't know. I have dealt with demons all my life. Let me tell you first how demons can get into our lives. Okay, there's several different ways. Perhaps there was an abusive situation when you were a child, or even in utero. You could have been targeted before you were even here, unfortunately. A lot of these kids with the sexual abuse or satanic rituals, or even if it's not satanic, even if it's, human trafficking, these sick people, if you want to call them people, open up the door to demons. Another way, so that could be a way. Another way could be you purchase something or you move into a place that has had some kind of activity or something, and you're in a vulnerable spot anyway, and the door is opened and they're allowed in. Another way, willfully sinning, willfully going against God, willfully doing it, saying, okay, I know, for instance, an adulterous affair. It's wrong. It goes against the word of God. But the devil can trick you into believing, well, this is my soulmate, and God brought him to me, and in this situation, it's supposed to be, why would God bring him to me if you can be easily fooled. And that's just one way of willfully living in sin. Making excuses, so they can get in that way. And if that's the case, you know what? In a way, you're kind of blessed because you can shut that door, Another way is a lot of, sexual promiscuity. Because each time you sleep with somebody, we know that statistically, physically, you're sleeping with, the last 10 partners or something? But you're also sleeping with their last 10 partners spiritually. So that's another way. Sometimes people will zap you. I know that sounds crazy and people don't want to believe that happens, but it happens. And unfortunately, a lot of the younger generation now, when I was a kid in the 80s, Satanism and black magic and that sort of thing made a real comeback. A lot of people were into it. And I don't know if it died down or not, but I know that it's back again. But this time, it's even a little worse. Drug addiction and alcohol abuse can bring in, it opens a doorway because you're out of control. You're not completely in control. So these are some ways that they can kind of manage to creep in. That's not an exhaustive list. There are more ways, but I'm just off the top of my head saying, can you hear my car, how awful it is? I definitely need a new car. I need a lot of things. I've been so sick, and I'm just asking God, just in my time left on this earth, because I really don't feel like it's very long, that I could at least, live comfortably enough to spread His word. And not have to worry about matters of this world. And this is off topic, but I just want to say I've never been one that I don't need anything fancy. A nice car, yeah, it's nice, but it doesn't do anything for me. You know what I mean? That big house never did anything for me. The only reason I would want to own property is so that people could leave me alone, and I could do what I wanted. Other than that, I don't need to own anything. I've never, and I'd like to see my kids be at least get a little bit of a boost. That's it, Honestly, and I know there are people in other nations that are starving, as long as I have, a cup of coffee, my grandkids have food, clothes on their back, I'm good. I don't need a lot, but I do keep asking the Lord to provide for me, until my time is done here. And I'm not trying to be like a wine bagger or anything, but I really don't believe my time here is long. So anyway, I'm gonna go on to another video to explain the symptoms of demonic activity, oppression. They can attack you, they can oppress you, they can possess you, but not if you're a true believer. But true believers do get attacked. True believers get attacked often. Don't listen to the Joel Osteens of this world that tell you that's not true. They get attacked. They get oppressed. They get misled, deceived. They can be absolutely tormented in this world. And then there's possession as well. So I'm going to leave that here, because I kind of rambled a little bit and I don't want the video to be too long. And then watch for part 2, because I want to talk about the symptoms and what you can do about it to get rid of them. A little off topic again. As you can see, fall's starting to hit here. The colors are changing on the trees. I know you can't see as well. The camera just doesn't capture it the way that it is. But this is where I live. This is New Hampshire, if you don't, if you're not familiar with it. This is the Lakes region of New Hampshire. And, being so sick, I might do this more. And I'm sorry if you prefer to see me as I'm talking to you, but I really don't look well. So, anyhow, I will talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Catch part 2. If you are being tormented or you suspect you are, definitely watch part 2 and get a hold of me if you need help. All right? I'll talk to you soon.